Hello everyone, this is Sofia Piltin. I will be discussing my own perspective or idea about the UNESCO's 4 Pillars of Education. So before we proceed, let me introduce to you the 4 pillars. We have the learning to know, learning to do, learning to be, and learning to live together. So for under learning to know, so when we say learning to know, it involves developing the tools of understanding, concentration, memory, and critical thinking. It's about cultivating a deep curiosity. So for learning to do naman, it's about taking that knowledge from first pillar or what we call the learning to know and applying it to real-world situations, being able to work in terms, solve problems, and handle unpredictable situations. And the number 3 is learning to be. It's about the development of the whole person, mind, body, spirit, and emotional intelligence. So now let's move on to the last pillar. It's the learning to live together. It involves developing an understanding of others, their histories, traditions, and spiritual values, and working toward common goals through common projects. So now, after explaining the meaning of each pillars, now let me give you my personal experience or situation about under these pillars. So for number 1, learning to know. When I started getting interested in photography, I didn't just look at pictures. I spent time researching the physics of light, how sensors work, and the history of composition. I was building a foundation of knowledge so I could understand the why behind of a good shot. So that's my example about my learning to know. Now let's move to the learning to do. So this is my example for learning to do. Set out a master sourdough bread. It's a vlog who shows the instruction how to cook. It wasn't enough to read the instructions. I had to learn the feel of the dough, knowing by touch when it had to be kneaded enough, and recognizing the specific smell of a healthy starter. It took several flat, burnt loaves before I developed the hand-eye coordination and timing to produce a perfect crust. That's how I learned to do. And for number 4 is learning to live together. Last year, I joined a community garden project. We had the people from totally different backgrounds and age groups. We had to negotiate how to share the space, resolve disagreements about which crops to plant, and celebrate our harvest together, which really broke down on my biases. So that is my explanation and own examples about the 4 pillars of UNESCO's education. So thank you for listening.